if you've spent any time online, you've probably come to the realization people stink. No, I'm not referring to the great unwashed masses out there. Well, sure, they probably do smell a bit ripe. But there are probably more people out there who revel in the nameless, faceless anonymity than there are genuine and honest folks. It's a shame to say it, but if you look at the landscape of the internet, it's hard to see otherwise. When you're a creator of content of any form, whether it's writing, video, or audio, it's almost impossible to ignore the fact humans suck. I've been an author for a few decades, and I used to host a talk radio show with over 9 million listeners at any given time. I've streamed hundreds of hours on Twitch and thousands of hours on YouTube. I've had the chance to interact and be exposed to a pretty good selection of what's available crowd-wise because of it. And my experiences with them have run the gamut from extreme joy and thankfulness to wondering how in the hell society is ever going to survive itself. Humans are the most amazing, despicable, adorable, deplorable, admirable, wretched, glorious things in the universe, capable of wondrous creations and loathsome destruction all at the same time. They have the capacity to do all of those things at once. Unfortunately, a lot of them realize anonymity gives them the chance to let those most base and horrible shadows out, fearless of retribution. In One Night Alone, as an example from my own experiences, I saw people coming out for me in support for some trouble I was going through. They gave encouragement in words and in gifts of a financial nature. It was amazing, and it made me weep while I was on the screen. The next night, hateful trolls who wanted to do as much damage to my mental state and joy as they could hit my stream. It's fascinating. People are capable of so much. Now, writers are especially subject to these kinds of things. Support comes in for the work that we do, then abruptly they slam us with comments claiming that we suck or we should give up and we should walk away from our dreams. And unfortunately, so many of us are sensitive to it, and we really do put our work aside and never touch it again. I've seen it happen time after time. So what can you do about it if someone tells you that your writing sucks? Well, you can thank them. Seriously, you can thank them for telling you that you suck, then ask them why they think so. Now, most of the time, they're not going to give you an answer. That's when you know that they're just trolling. Trolls, by their nature, will do anything they can to kill your joy. That's their job. Their sole purpose is to ruin anything around them. But my dear friend, trolls are to be ignored. They should have no space rented in your head. I know it's hard to accept that sometimes, especially if, like me, you've had a lot of unpleasant experiences when it comes to your writing. Still, you can learn to have a thicker skin with them and ignore them. Take a flamethrower to that stuff right then and there. If someone responds to the question, well, that's when you can try to figure out their reasons. There are times someone will read your work and it wasn't for them. They're not your target audience, and because of that, they'll tell you how much they did not enjoy what you wrote. And that's totally fine. Seriously, take it with the grain of salt that it deserves. They weren't who you were writing for, and that's okay. If they're just 1 out of, say, 10 comments that you get, and the other 9 say how much they enjoyed your work, well, then you know that you're doing okay. Remember the old adage, you can't please everyone. Now, if we flip the coin over and we see that we're getting way more negative comments about the quality of our writing, well, then we know that we have an actual problem. And that's not a bad thing either. Why? Because now you know. Sometimes we get captivated by our own words. We think that they're the best things out there and no one else can compare. But then we publish and we realize that it's not up to the standards that it deserves. We might have had a great idea, but the execution wasn't good enough. Well, that's a teaching moment for us, and we should look at it that way. Don't listen to the singular comments about your work. See what the audience as a whole has to say and grow an understanding from there. just make sure you kick a troll in the balls every day. It's great for your mental health. Lord knows there's enough of them out there. Stupid little rats everywhere. Hello, Rose.
I saw you taking a little detour out there to talk to that overseer of yours.
This land is his land, and none else are welcome.
Enemy sighted! Guys, they're here!
Okay. Nope, I don't know. Where'd you come from?